I'm Graham McPherson from Go Fast Campers, and this is the V2 Pro walk-around video. This is a Go Fast camper, and we've been making these since 2017. And while we call it a camper for a reason, it's not your traditional camper. Old school campers are amazing once you're all set up. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a sucker for a faux marble countertop, and nothing will lull me to sleep quite like the noise of a generator, except for maybe the carbon monoxide. But that's only a camp, and that camp better not be far off the pavement, because those old school campers just suck to drive. Not only do they just guzzle fuel, but all that weight in the back kills your on-road handling and destroys your off-road capabilities. With one of those things, you are just stuck camping around other people. And we all know how crowded those places are nowadays. So, we set out to build something better. Something that won't limit the places you can go. That you don't have to spend half a Friday putting on or all of Monday taking off. Something that won't fall apart over washboard or break your truck in half. Not only does a Go Fast camper weigh under 300 pounds, but it's so strong you never have to worry about it. Even if you're landing a jump in a 9,000 pound heavy duty off-road truck. See the difference? Let me show you how it works. The backbone of this camper is this structural aluminum space frame. Now all this triangulation and all of this tube work takes all the loads from up above when you're off-roading, throwing a bunch of G-forces on the truck, and then transmits all that stress down to the truck's bed rails. The result is the strongest possible construction. So on top of that structural aluminum space frame is the tent, and that tent is only 6 inches thick. And a ton of time was actually spent optimizing for overall stack height. So that allows you to have great fuel economy, still fit in residential garage doors, and keep your truck as your daily driver. Let's talk about how this 6-inch tall structure turns into a 4-foot tent. So the wedge style opening allows for just one single simple mechanism that pivots open at the front. The roof allows for all the water and snow loads to shed right off, and this structure keeps it as stable as possible in the wind. Now this isn't just a rooftop tent on a frame. Our transformer floor allows for a spacious interior living area. And what's a transformer floor? Well, up here you have a big square opening inside the camper that's made up of 2 small squares and 1 larger rectangle. And what that allows you to do is set up different camp modes. So let me go through each one of those with you. So the first setup is all these floor panels in place with the 2 small squares at the rear. So if you're in here sleeping and you want to get out without disturbing your partner, you can pull up one of these lightweight panels, throw it right behind you, and hop downstairs. The second mode up here we call bunk mode, and that's running this rectangular panel lengthwise. So you can either be sleeping up here solo or hop down really conveniently with a ton of standing room. You can even pull this mattress out of the way and stow it up front for a standing height desk. You can work here, you can change a baby here, you could cook here, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And this last little mode, you can spin this guy sideways, stash that panel up front, take the 2 small cushions, put them on top of that, and now you have a ton of standing room. I'm 5'9" and can't even come close to touching the top. This wedge creates a ton of interior volume. And let's not forget lounge mode. You get your own personal elevated lounge chair by just propping these 2 small square cushions up against the back with 270-degree elevated panoramic views. Now that we covered all the different modes for working or hanging out in the back of the truck bed, let's talk about the most important thing, which is sleeping. We spent the last 2 years developing this 3-inch thick, ultra plush, ultra durable foam with a 4-way stretch cover. What this allows you to have is a really comfortable sleeping experience that is plush and lets you sink into the foam without blowing through into the rigid panel below that keeps you from going into the truck bed. It is really comfortable, really durable, and honestly a great place to sleep. The whole sleeping area up here is 90 inches long, which is 7.5 feet. So there's tons of room, and this big vaulted interior is about 4 feet. So it allows you to sit up, do other stuff that might be adjacent to sleeping, and have tons of space to do it. So with all 3 floor panels in place, you're protected from the elements and bugs, even if the downstairs is open. So each one of the openings on this camper have full zip around, no CM mesh. So nothing's gonna come up here and bite you at night. Let's move downstairs. Now the transformer floor isn't the only way to get downstairs from inside the tent. This ladder works super well, and our proprietary Manus-Claw ladder mounts keep that ladder mount super secure. And this is a really great way to get in and out of the tent if you've got kids sleeping downstairs below, or you really don't want to disturb your partner upstairs. In addition to carrying stuff on top, the Go Fast camper leaves your truck bed wide open. So you can still use your truck for truck stuff. In fact, the Go Fast camper doubles as the most practical truck bed on the market. Even the side panels open up, and they open up past 90 degrees so you can stand underneath. And this will protect you from the sun and the rain. When all 3 panels are open, we call it cabana mode. The side panels also let you reach all corners of your truck bed. You can even grab a drink from the cooler. Let's hop in and I'll show you the rest of the downstairs. Inside the downstairs of the camper here, we've added these rib nuts all throughout the interior of the frame. So you can mount accessories anywhere you want to these 5/16 18 holes. On top of that, we've added lighting throughout this entire downstairs area. So there's 4 lights downstairs and then 1 upstairs. They're actually on 2 separate circuits. So if somebody wants lights on downstairs but out upstairs to sleep, you're good to go. They're also switchable from red to white and dimmable in both of these configurations. What's really cool about the red light is that it keeps bugs away and also doesn't kill your night vision. On the underside of these square floor cushions, you've got an elastic catch, so you can store your bedding, jackets, whatever out of the way and it'll keep them from getting dirty. Let's hop upstairs and talk about the rest of the tent details. One of the big features up here is that the rear door zips both up and down and is fully enclosed. That way you can let in views and airflow without sacrificing privacy. In fact, I'm not even wearing pants right now. This tent also features a ton of ventilation solutions, even when everything's all buttoned up. So we have these big top vents here that are propped open and shielded from the rain and snow and have interior bug mesh inside as well. So what this allows you to do is have all of the warm, hot air and wet air escape from the top, and you have an intake air vent down low up front that allows all that air to exchange and keep moving. That'll keep condensation to an absolute minimum. And this headliner isn't just for your sweet patch collection. It keeps the whole sleeping area dark when the sun comes up in the morning, and also allows more surface area for any moisture that might be in this area to evaporate. Let's hop downstairs to talk about some practicalities. If you're hanging out downstairs or going to sleep upstairs and you want to be able to close this back panel and secure it, we have this billet striker slider that allows you to operate the lock from the inside. And right next to that, you'll see these billet mounts. If you ever want to take the camper on and off the truck, it's really simple. It's just 4 bolts and you and a few friends can pull it right off. That said, most of our customers leave the campers on all the time because it's so convenient to use. Let's talk about traveling with dogs in the bed of the truck. If they're not in the cab with you, how do they stay cool? Well, upstairs you've got a 6-inch assembly of foam and air gap, which is great insulation. On top of that, the whole roof panel is bright white and reflects all that sunlight. So you're not gonna get a ton of thermal transfer like you would with like a color matched topper. So that is gonna intrinsically keep this whole downstairs area cooler. In addition to that, you can prop open the front side panel and kind of ram airflow into the truck bed. And that's actually gonna add a ton more airflow than your conventional like mesh slider window on a truck cab. So on the front and rear panels back here, we have optional windows. That way, when you look through the rearview mirror, you can still see all the way out the back. And on this rear window, we've opted for a 45% window tint, so that way you can keep your valuables a little bit more secure if somebody's looking in. We also replaced the third brake light, and we have latch covers to keep all the road dust, grime, salt spray out of your latches. Our team has made 8,000 of these things since 2017. And part of the reason for that is because this camper works just as well day to day as it does on your camping trip. Unlike an RV, this will add value to your truck during everyday use. There's nothing here that will ever slow you down, limit where you can go, rattle apart, or develop mildew. In fact, you can just pressure wash everything on this thing other than the foam pads. So it'll be easier to care for than the truck you put it on, and honestly should outlast that vehicle too. And while we've seen GFCs survive rollovers and car crashes totally unscathed, bad stuff can still happen. So this is where we should start talking about making stuff in America. Making these campers in the United States and selling them direct means we're able to get you a camper without middleman markup. Every dollar that you spend with GFC goes into your Go Fast camper, instead of going into the pockets of dealers, distributors, and foreign factories. Which brings us to price. For 2024, this Go Fast Camper V2 Pro starts out at $84.50. When you invest in a Go Fast camper, you're buying something that will never slow you down, never limit the places you can get to, expand the utility of your truck in daily driving, while making it easier to go camping than ever before. Plus, it'll last forever, no matter how hard you use it. These campers are tailored exactly to fit your model of truck, and we support all modern vehicles. We tailor the rake, width, and height of the camper to optimize functionality, decrease wind noise, and maximize fuel efficiency of your truck. No universal fudge fits here. The Go Fast camper is a totally different way to go camping, and we're excited to have you join the family.